Tesla now to use footage it records of you, essentially for
This
the
is
full...
not a fast topic. We got to talk about this.
Okay. For the full self-driving assistance program, in its agreement, it says that it's going to use footage from outside and inside the vehicle. While incident footage has been gathered before for AI training, the new agreement consents to Tesla's collection of VIN-associated image data. So if you get in a crash while using it, Tesla will have the footage from your car.
Wow.
You spend an incredible amount of money for some incredibly extensive surveillance of you.
Wow.
I can understand how this data would be useful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also stunned.
Because if I'm Tesla, I'm looking at it going, hey, at some point, a regulatory body is going to come after me when there's some kind of collision and
Some brutal one.
16 people die.
We hit a bus.
Yep.
It's all kids. People care about kids a lot.
Yep. I need to cover my butt in terms of liability. That is why this is happening. Full stop. So don't imagine anything other than that this is about Tesla protecting their own liability so that in the event that that happens, they are going to do absolutely everything they can to pin it on the driver.
I don't in our notes there isn't a reason. So I can't even really debate back because I can't think of I mean, it would because it's full self-driving, that's the confusing part to me.
Well, in full self-driving, you are still supposed to be hands basically on the wheel, right?
Yeah.
So there's a number of problems here, right? There's the problem that Tesla is still using that full self-driving and autopilot branding when neither of those things are either of those things. And the other problem is that people are using this technology, which is not validated, it's not fully cooked, and they're using it on public roads without any kind of, really anything. Like if I was an insurer at this point, I would be trying to figure out, if your car has this kind of a feature, I'd be trying to figure out what impact that does or should have on your premium, because if something goes wrong, I don't even know who I'm going to go after for it. Like it's going to get really complicated.
So Electrek's website
Yeah.
says specifically that the fact that Tesla added that language specifically related to safety risks and accidents would point towards the automaker looking to secure usable evidence in case of an accident where its full self-driving system is blamed. So yeah, they're trying to use it against you. Well,
Yep.
That's what Electrek thinks as well. Essentially, they're agreeing with you.
Fantastic says they really just need to change the names. Yeah, they really do. Because ultimately what's going to happen is people are going to make assumptions because people do not read detailed documentation on things.
Hey!
Okay, in my defense on that whole deleting the desktop environment
No, basically
thing,
nobody does.
that was terminology that even if I had read it, I would not have understood that I was removing my entire desktop environment. Or I might have if I was
think you
paying
might have.
really careful
I
attention.
think you might have. Yeah.
But not when I was reading like I was just doing something basic like installing a program. Anyway, the point is people don't read these things. They make assumptions based on the names of things. Like this product, okay, it's called the water bottle. Let's say, for example,
It was actually a hammer.
it was actually. It might be an okay hammer, but
It'd probably do all right.
but at some point, I'm probably in my use of it as a hammer, I'm probably going to make some kind of mistake that will cause damage to my hammer or myself. And, if we installed a camera in every one of the water bottle hammers, so that we could prove that when, you break the vacuum seal and it causes some kind of a problem or something, so that we could prove that it was because you were using it as a hammer instead of a water bottle or whatever. Man.
I wonder what happens if you cover the internal cameras.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that it's going to disable your self-driving.
Oh, so yeah.
It would have to.
Yeah.
Obviously. So then that's the thing too, is like Tesla is now pulling a bait and switch here because anyone who already paid for full self-driving, and Tesla has been selling full self-driving, whether directly, whether actually taking your money or selling it as a future promise.
It'll work on this car.
For years now. So they have effectively promised something, whether it is future self-driving capabilities for your vehicle that you can upgrade to, or whether it is an actual software package that you have paid them for. They have promised this under a set of conditions that is no longer accurate. So you could make the argument, and they got sued recently, actually, over someone buying a version of a Tesla vehicle that Tesla said would be compatible with full self-driving, that they then went back to them and said, well, it's compatible in the sense that you can
To buy this hardware
pay
upgrade.
for new hardware in
Yeah.
order to upgrade them. And they're like, actually, no, that isn't what you said. So they're being sued for that, I believe, right now. But I could see this going class action, and I could see people suing them saying, well, look, I wouldn't have made this purchase if I had realized that having a camera pointed at me that is feeding data, obviously feeding data onto your server, whether they admitted it before or not, I actually don't remember, but it was obviously doing it.
I've no idea.
So this is feeding data onto your server that monitors me while I am in my understanding is, at least in many jurisdictions, a private place
I didn't know they had.
inside your car.
It is, yeah.
It is.
I didn't know they had internal cameras at all, personally.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
they're to monitor driver attentiveness. But the claim, my understanding is, the claim in the past has been that it's locally handled, that it's just monitoring driver attentiveness.
Oh, they might just be changing that. It might
Right.
not send it yet. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So
okay.
either way,
Yeah.
if I bought this car based on my understanding that it worked as a local attentiveness monitoring thing, then effectively that could be an enormous class action.
I could see people potentially getting refunded for the full self-driving module.
If you get, or not even that, remember the vehicle as well. If you bought the vehicle on the basis of this perceived upgrade path, even if you don't own a full self-driving module, you might make the argument that I spent an extra X. I spent an extra $8,000 on a Tesla because my understanding was that I was going to have full self-driving that did not involve a camera pointed at me and reporting on me to Big Brother. This could be freaking enormous. It could be freaking enormous. AJ says they were saying that it was disabled and would be utilized for the self-driving taxi feature in the event of vandalism IRC. This is a big problem with Tesla, is they just...
Yeah, they changed stuff.
I mean, we know who's the problem, right? They just talk out their butts, and
think
then the story changes, and the Tesla fanboys and apologists just say, "Oh, but it's okay because they're changing the world. They're building the future." Right, but the ends don't justify the means. Like, we actually do need to have integrity about this future that we're building. Otherwise, is it one that we really want to live in? Is a question we should be asking ourselves.
Another question is this the ultimate car scandal of all time? I'm kidding. It's not.
No, there's been some pretty big car scandals.
I'm
I
just
don't
memeing
think
on the previous topic.
there's a single automaker that is faultless. I mean, we've all seen the how many people is it
diesel
going to
thing.
kill versus the cost of the
Oh,
recall
yeah.
calculations.
Yeah.
You know, every corporation past a certain size, as far as I can tell, is basically monstrous.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, that's the thing.
Clem says no, that would definitely be Nikola Motors, where they like actually had nothing. And they were claiming they had like a semi that worked, but actually they like rolled it down a hill and stuff. You didn't follow
I
that?
forgot about those guys. Yeah, wait, what happened?
That was
with
like the
them?
Theranos of cars. They just, as far as we
What?
could tell, they had absolutely
So
nothing.
did they take like investment money or something? Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing about. I probably saw that video of that truck rolling down the hill. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh
yikes.
man.